It seemed that the doctor and Mr. Trelawney and Captain Smollett found out that I had disappeared from the ship, and they were concerned that the buccaneers had taken me as a hostage. So they were concerned for my safety. The doctor and one of the seamen they could trust piled ammunition into one of the longboats, let it down over the side, and quietly pulled away from the ship to the shore. Once they got there, they made for an old stockade that had been identified on Billy Bones's map. It was like a tiny fortress protected by high walls, and they had muskets and ammunition with them. On board the ship, the captain overpowered one of Long John Silver's men and made sure that the others on board would not make a signal to Silver that anyone else had gone ashore. When the doctor got to the stockade, he signaled back to the ship. Then the captain and Mr. Trelawney, having surprised and overpowered John Silver's men, also let down a longboat and headed for the stockade. From the stockade, my friends could see John Silver and his men in their clearing, and they opened fire with a small cannon on the buccaneers. That was the shooting that Ben Gunn and I heard. Silver and his men returned the fire, and a battle was on. After a little of this, I decided to join my friends. I snuck back along the bushes, out of sight, made it safely into the stockade, where I told the story of Ben Gunn. The battle continued, with my friends taking shots at the buccaneers and the buccaneers firing back. Then there was a surprise.
Look, it's a white flag. A flag of truce.
Sure enough, here came Long John Silver himself, coming towards the stockade, with a white flag of truce in his hands.
Ahoy there! Silver, what do you want?
To talk to you and make terms, mateys.
All right, man, if you have anything to say, then out with it.
Well, look. Here we is, all shooting at each other. You got two of my men already with your guns. So maybe it's time to talk a little.
Go ahead.
Well, here it is. We want that treasure, and we mean to have it. And you would just as soon have your lives, right? You have Billy Bones' chart, right?
Perhaps.
Ah, you have it all right. No use telling me different. Now, here's my offer. You give us the chart to get the treasure by, and you stop shooting poor seamen. You do that, and we'll give you a choice. Once we get the treasure, you can come back on board with us. Or we can divvy up the ship's food and stores with you staying here on the island. Then we'll set sail, and the first ship we seize, we'll tell them you're here and they come and pick you up, see?
Is that your offer?
'Tis indeed. That's me last word. Refuse it, and you've seen the last of me and the buccaneers, all except our musket balls, if you see my meaning.
Very good. Now listen to me, Silver. Here's my offer. If your buccaneers come here one by one, I'll clap you in irons, and I'll take you to England for a fair trial. You see, John Silver, you can't find the treasure. You can't sail the ship. There's not a man among you that's fit anymore. You can't even fight us. We have most of the ammunition from the ship, and yours is running out. So you tramp back to your mates, Mr. Silver, and instruct them all to give up to us.
So that's the way it is. Well, that's my answer, gentlemen. Before an hour's out, me and my men'll stove in your stockade here flatter than a pancake. And I warn you, them that dies will be the lucky ones after me and my men get through with you.
And with that, Silver got up as best he could, left the stockade, and went back to join his men. Before long, the sound of musket shots rang out again from Silver's encampment. Would we really get out of the stockade alive? Would we ever get back to the ship? And would we ever get the treasure? These were questions all of us were asking ourselves, as once again both sides traded cannon fire and musket fire across Treasure Island.